Our fellow traders, I hope everybody had a great Monday. Today kind of got fooled a little bit. This is a holiday, a federal holiday here in the U.S. A lot of banks are closed, no mail, federal offices closed. So I'm thinking, today is probably not going to be a real busy day. There were no earnings announced in the morning or, aftermarket. So, I'm thinking, hey, people probably just take a day off, enjoy the day and whatnot. But, boy, was I wrong. And I actually planned to take my mom shopping. She needed to go to Sam's and get some stuff. I had to help her load it and unload it. And I felt this would be the perfect day to do it, during lunch because it'll be a slow day. But as usual, turned around and I get caught up in it, and turns out, I'm paid a price. I did good, I did okay today, but I didn't maximize the potential. I left way too much on the table because of that period of time that I wasn't here, and kind of lost my groove. And once you do that, that's it. So let's take a look at start with the best trade first, obviously. Tesla was the first trade I took, and I posted early this morning that this gave me the perfect risk reward, the perfect risk reward trade on this Tesla here. We made a high, pulled back, couldn't make a new high again, sold off, and on this bounce we couldn't push back up through the moving averages. I could get in here, and I don't have the levels on here. The first, yesterday, 250. No, what was it? What was the level yesterday that we got to? 260.56. Okay, 260.56 was my target on this. I got in, and I'm like, I'm risking $2 to make $4. Perfect risk reward here. So it was a no-brainer to jump in right under all of this resistance. And it took a minute, but eventually, we sold off after the open. Actually, sold through about a point and a half. But when I set my target, I'm gonna stick to my plan, and that's what I did. And probably should have taken all of it off, but over the last several days, Tesla has not traded like this. Now, this is how Tesla trades. It'll have a big move, and then it'll go back the other way. And I wasn't expecting this because of how it's traded the last couple of weeks, but this is just vintage Tesla today. Big sell-off, and then we just ramp back up. So the next candle stopped me back out at break even, and we had this huge push. I was patient, which is, something that I pride myself on. I kind of lost it this summer because of how bad the market was, but I pretty much got it back. So I didn't jump in on this. Now, I did say I was waiting for the rejection of the 200 to jump in, but it just blew through that. And as it came back through, I was like, I gotta wait for it to pull through and then retest this stuff. And once it does, I'm gonna jump in under the VWAP. That was the plan. And that's exactly what we did. And you can see, I just scaled out along the way. I didn't anticipate it to sell off this hard, but as long as we were making these moves, I was scaling out. So, I took off. You can see how I scaled out here. Started at 3. I took off 100. 150. It just split the ticket. Then 150 right here. It was, really clean. A really clean move. And then right here, I got in at 300, and then I scaled out 100, then another 100, then 50, and 20. I mean, as long as it kept going, I was just splitting this thing up. I know it may not make sense, but I only pay around $2 per ticket. So, if I get a couple points, it makes perfect sense to lock in profit. And, this turned out to be a perfect trade. I had it at 252, but for some reason it didn't hit. And as it started to ramp back up, I went ahead and got out. And thankfully, it did eventually come back. But, it never really broke through to where I felt comfortable getting back in. I was gone through here. I didn't get back till 1 o'clock. And I just kind of waited for it to set up. And it just never set up to give me a clean entry that I wanted. So I just kind of let the day go. I was sitting there waiting. I was ready to short it. But just never confirmed. I felt it was going to confirm when I left to go pick my son up. But, it made a little move, but it never really, got any smooth price action. It was really choppy at that time. So smart money, that's not when you trade. You trade through the volatility. Once the volatility leaves, then you shut it down. You're done for the day. And that's my thing. Now, if you're a scalper, no, you would just keep scalping 10, 15 cent moves. But, obviously I am no scalper, which we saw last week. So Tesla, another, 18, 12, 36 to start the week out on Tesla. I will be looking at it again tomorrow. If it sets up pre-market for, the all-day hold again, then I'll be all over it. But, this time on the wash, I'll make sure I take it all off and then reset so I can book more profit. All right, so in the small account, I kind of pushed a little bit. Now, I really thought this would give us a good move because if you look at the daily chart, here, we had gapped up, but we were showing weakness. And I felt, there was a good chance that we would pull back and, back to this level here. And, if it held here, we would be pushing off of this, from here on out. But today I felt with this gap up and the weakness that it was showing through pre-market that we would get this pullback. And you can see, we did get a decent pullback here. But you can see it did not happen until later on, till after I got shook out. Now here's the 5-minute opening range low right here. This was the first 5-minute candle right here. You can see it tried to push up. Then it showed some big weakness. Once we got through the 50 and we made a new low, I was able to get in. Now it was a little delayed because I was kind of paying attention to Tesla, but still should have been a decent entry. I still felt we had enough room to either the 100 or that level we identified on the daily chart. So this was really, some decent room to get to start off the day. I know, it may not seem like a whole lot, but to get started and for this to be a good move, I felt I could trade this all day and eventually get it down to the 200 here. So, but one of the issues with this stock was the it had a big float. And we'll take a look at this here real quick. This had I think a 4 billion share float. Number two, it was a oil and gas stock. And number three, ATR was like what, 50 cents. All right, so let's take a look at this real quick. You can see PBR right here. 4 billion share float. I like to trade stocks between 50 and 500 million share float. This one's way out of the range. ATR, well, it was at 50 something this morning. Guess with this gap up and everything, with this $1.47 move, it kind of bumped it up some. But ATR was in the 50s. It was less than 60 cents. Those are typically deal breakers for me in the morning, which is why I didn't put it on my watch list. Why the hell I traded it, I have no clue. I guess I convinced myself the same way I just explained this trade to you. How I wanted what I was looking for. I convinced myself that it would work. Got in it, and it triggered an entry, but you can see it just turned around and took me out, and then it made the move. So just completely botched that. This is just one that I shouldn't have taken because this stock did not meet the qualifications for an opening range trade. So I can chalk that up to my first mistake this week. All right, so AA, this hit our reversal scan. You can see the open, we had a nice sell-off on AA. It came down and bounced here. And you could see, here's AA. 39.58 was a 52-week low. So when I saw that, I was like, I want this thing to take out the 52-week low. So once it bounced and then it started to reject, I had no desire to take this long. Even though this was on our bottom reversal scan, I had no desire to take this long because of all the weakness it was showing. And then it just didn't have a whole lot of room from where it was wanting to bounce back up to the VWAP. Just wasn't enough room. So this is a candidate for my continuation trade. So once it rolled over, I got in. It started to work. We caught some support, and it was like it did make a lower low or a new, lower day here. But it was like they were just waiting for it to make it, and then, big money just bought it up and was just taking people out. I was not going to be shaken out on this because, I was had enough room here to test VWAP, which is why I only went in 200 shares at this point. Because I had, I knew that there was a possibility I might have to hold it through another test. And, that's exactly what happened. We got another test, and then it started to sell off. Hit my first target here, which was just below 52-week low. I wanted to get some here just in case it did the same thing here. And it, they let it go through and then they bounced it. But this didn't happen. It started to sell off. And I had, at this point I was gone. I had to leave to go pick my mom up. And so I'm sitting outside with my computer in my car. I'm getting ready to go in her house, and I'm trying to set, this one had already hit. So I was trying to set my next target for 39. But, trying to do it on a small laptop with a mouse pad, accidentally covered it, a piece here, which, I was like, ah. But it's funny because as soon as I covered it, the thing started to push up. It started to bounce. But, then it sold off, and I just left my other target at 30. I thought, maybe it would start to bounce here. And, after lunch, I could catch the afternoon sell-off. But it just kept going down and going down. And I know my mom thought I was crazy because I was sitting there in Sam's looking at my phone like, shit. And, fussing because this thing was just selling off. But, I waited. When I got back, it was starting to bounce. I waited for the bounce and supposedly to clear rejection here. And I let it reject. Got in once we made a new low relative to this candle. And it turned around and took me out. So I was like, okay, now I got you. It's not going to sell off. This was a fake out. So you can see right here, right here is where I got short. Here's where I covered 13.31.34. Within 5 seconds, I was back long. I flipped this thing immediately because I felt we were going, the bounce was in. And thought we were going to make it up to VWAP. Got to my first target up here around 39. It was close enough. It was at 39. And I think I got it at 38.99. And then it tried to hold it, but then it started to sell off. Once we lost to 20, it was time to cover it up. So we were done. I missed out on a lot of the big opportunity on Tesla. I missed out on a lot of the big opportunity here on AA. But when I went back and looked at this trade, this was not a force. So I was really happy that I waited patiently. This was just a fake, a fake out or a trap, bear trap, whatever you want to call it. And I recognized it quick enough, flipped it, and took advantage of the move up. Didn't give us as strong a move up as I would have liked. I thought we were going to get VWAP, but, that's fine. We made some profit. Even though we started the day out red, finished up the day pretty strong. So pretty pleased with that. Now, I'm trying not to look at my P&L in the small account every day. My philosophy. No daily goals. No daily monetary goals. My goal every day is to maximize every trading opportunity that I take. If I do that, the money's going to be there. And I can tally it up at the end of the week and, go from there. So whatever it takes. I had to realize that, hey, I'm in a smaller account. And you have to maximize the potential that you have in that account. Don't try to overdo it. Don't try, like this summer, I was just trying to make $150 to $250 per trade. What sense does that make if I'm trading with $1,000 account for me to be doing that? And then that was causing me to take these bad trades. That unrealistic expectation was killing it. So I'm having realistic expectations. I'm not keeping up with my P&L daily. At the end of the week, I'll show you Suretrader has this summary that I could print out. And this is everything for last week. So all I do is, I don't print it out. I just look at it and I'll transfer the numbers to my profit calendar. But what I like to look at is, what my realized P&L is, what my commission rate was, what my true P&L was. And you could see, this is the day that I lost my mind right here. 27 tickets, $106 commissions. I made $433.51 on this stock, trading this stock that day. I was scalping like mad. True P&L was $300.80. Not bad. But this is not good. Here's another one. 17 tickets for $67. Here's another one, SFIX. 15 tickets for $60. Way too many tickets. It's something that I'm working on. I'm going forward. And it was, just trying to, not really letting the trade work out initially, just trying to take it off and then turn around and get back in. Moving into earnings where we're going to start to see better moves, I'm going to have to let these trades work. Dig in and let them work and not rack up these tickets. Because, like I was saying this weekend in the video, there's a specific way you have to trade in, say, Suretrader or, these other brokers that you don't really get a good discounted rate on your, your commissions. And it's just like anything else, just like Speed Trader and all these other ones. They try to base it on, okay, if you take all of these trades, you get your platform for free, or you get, reduced commissions. No, they're baiting you in to overtrade. Same thing with Suretrader. If you trade over what? I can't remember the shares. If you trade over so many shares per month, you'll get a rebate on your commissions. Based on how much you trade per month, you'll go to $3.99, $2.99, $1.99. But you can't go for that. You cannot overtrade. That's one of the conflicts of interest that all brokers have. All brokers want you to trade as much as you can, because the more you trade, the more money they make. They get paid on the spread. When you trade, they make the spread from you, off of you. They make commissions off of you. They make, whatever fees they charge you. Some are hidden and you never really know about. Some are right there in front of your face. But, looking at the end of the end of the week, this was very, very concerning. This is over 50% of my realized P&L I spent on commissions. We're not even adding up all of the fees. Okay, the only way to fix this and the only way to combat this is stop over trading. That's the only way to do it. Manage my tickets. Like today, I think I had 8 tickets, I believe. 1, 2, this one is the same. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tickets. So, that's not bad. I can deal with that. You know, if I had 9 tickets a day, that's 45 tickets for the week. There's no reason for me to have over 50, and here I had 73. So I know it was just a crazy week last week. So I'll be working on trying to fix that. But that's a long answer. I'm sorry, but that's just a long answer as to why, you know, I'm not focusing on my P&L every day like I was. You know, I was sharing it in this account, but it gets into my mind. And I start trying to do more with this than I need to. My other account, I could care less. Because you know, I can trade free in it. I can kind of do whatever the hell I want to do in it. But this account, I can't. So, you know, I have to maintain more discipline in it. All right, so that's going to do it for me today. We'll look at tomorrow. And I don't know if I'm a live stream or not tomorrow. We'll just have to wait and see. I may just need to wait till Wednesday again. Because tomorrow there's like one company reporting earnings in the morning, none in the afternoon. So this is just a really, really weird week. All right, guys. So have a great week. A great evening, and I'll see you guys first thing in the morning.